So I'm Lynette Hill. I'm a naturopath. I also teach at the College of Natural Medicine, South Pacific College in Ellerslie, and I'm really passionate about all things health. And so I was really honoured to be here today to talk about mental wellness. Rather than mental health, we're calling it mental wellness. Today we're talking about mind, body and spirit, which is the way that we see full health is everything to do with ourselves, whether it's our thoughts, whether it's our body, and it's the things that we do and the people we surround ourselves with, which is the spirit that we live in. So to start with, I just want to ask you, has anybody been to a naturopath? Does anyone know what a naturopath is? Apart from you, Monique, at the back. Okay, so that's a good place to start, because often when I'm in clinic, I'll be talking to people and I'll suddenly realise that they have no idea who I am, what I do, or what naturopathy is. And they're often a little bit frightened and a little bit nervous that I might have a wand or something weird in my drawer. But a naturopath is a skill I've learned over the last 12 years. I have a degree, a Bachelor of Natural Medicine, which I got in New Zealand, which is fantastic. What we do is we look after all aspects of health. So whether it's your mental health, so we'll be looking at your stresses in your everyday life and where you're at and what your coping techniques are. Whether it's your physical health, so we'll be looking at, as we were talking about just before, your gut health and your brain health. If there's anything going on, if there's stress issues, digestive issues or immune issues. So we look at all the parts of your body, we take a really good consultation and find out who you are and how life's going for you. And once we know all of that, we can look to make a plan. And sometimes that plan is utilising medication that you may already be on. If you have a medical condition, you need to stick with the advice of your medical professionals. Sometimes we'll be looking at something as simple as drinking water. If you have a really dry bowel, then you need to get drinking water. It's really simple. We'll look at your diet, your lifestyle. We might look at your thinking. We might look at your habits. And sometimes we might introduce homeopathy or herbs or some other supplement or natural medicine to be corrective and to move you on from where your health is currently. Now, this is doing some very funny things. So what can we help with? Pretty much just said it. We help with everything from acute conditions. So acute conditions are things that are happening right now. So we're talking about colds and flus and tummy bugs and stress or panic over an exam. That's right now. Or we can help with chronic conditions. So we look after people with gut disorders like IBS, Crohn's disease is a really big thing. We look after people with anxiety, diabetes, you name it, there's something we can do to help you feel a little bit better. And what you can expect is more energy, better sleep, better digestion, and the ability to deal with, I say stress there, but life better. You know, this is what health is to me. This is my sun, and I can't do this, but I can feel like that on the inside. You know, just full of joy, full of energy, full of vitality, ready to go out and have a bit of fun. That to me is really good health, just that feeling that you can get up today and you can go and do something, no matter what. So we're talking about mental health, so we better do some serious stuff here. Mental health is really quite a hot topic at the moment, and it is really appropriate that it is just before Mental Health Week. And a lot of people come to me and say, I'm suffering from anxiety and depression and I'm on this medication and I don't know what to do. But when we really drill down, we find that maybe they're not depressed. Maybe they're not suffering from anxiety, but they may just be stressed. So I'll just go over the definition of what those words mean so you understand. So anxiety is a feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease about something with an uncertain outcome. So it's a worry, like what on earth's going on? I'm not sure. That's anxiety. And depression are feelings of severe despondency and dejection. And it's a dark place. It's not a nice place to be in with depression. And it's really normal for people to come in and out of quite severe depression many times in their life. Most people will experience it 2 or 3 times before their 30s. And you can imagine that you have relationship breakups, you have grief to deal with, you have job problems, you have body image, as you were speaking about before. So it is normal to feel depressed sometimes, but not all the time. Today we're going to talk more about stress. Who here is a stress ball? Yes, one in the back. Stress is more the day-to-day stuff that we're feeling, and it does get a little bit caught up and confused with anxiety. So stress can be a really good thing. It gets us up out of bed in the morning. It makes us sharp. It makes us want to win. It makes us want to learn. It makes us want to sort of move forward in life and do stuff. And it's great. We're stressed when we exercise, and that stress on our body makes us strong. So stress can be just fantastic. I kind of like stress. I live off stress a little bit. I'm a wee bit of a stress junkie. So I like doing things like this. But stress is not good when it's bad stress, when it's all the time, when it's making you feel overwhelmed, when it's making you feel nervous and shaky, when it's making you not want to do anymore, or when you're exhausted from so much stress. From the dictionary, stress is a state of mental or emotional strain or tension resulting from adverse or demanding circumstances, which is life. Life is a little bit of an adverse, demanding circumstance most days. So where is our stress coming from? Is this a picture of anyone's life here? So much to do, so little time. If you think about our day, yes, we're all feeling that. It used to be that you could get up in the morning and you could have your breakfast with your family, and then you could get in rush hour traffic for 10 minutes as you drove into town, and then you do a little bit of work for an hour and a half, and then you'd have morning tea, and then you'd do a little bit more work, and then you'd have lunch, a little bit more work, afternoon tea, a bit more work, go home in rush hour, 15 minutes. Go home, cook the dinner, watch what was on TV, Neighbours, really good for turning the brain off, go to bed at 10 o'clock and do it all over again. Now, whose life is like that now? My life's like this lady. We are so plugged in. So we get up in the morning and we're eating our breakfast and we're on the phone and we've got something to do and we're cleaning the floor and we're hanging up the washing and we're doing everything other than getting to work. And then we realise, oh, haven't had breakfast, so we're eating that as we're driving on the phone, sorting out the meeting that we're going to be 10 minutes late for, and then we get to work, and then we've got no time to wake up, and then it's 5 o'clock, and then it's lunchtime, and then we get back in the car for an hour and a half, and everyone's angry, and then we just about hit someone next door because we fall asleep behind the wheel. It's a really stressful world we live in. On top of that, we're so plugged in. So have you seen people walking around with their phones actually in their ear? All the time, right? And these messages we're getting from our phones and our Facebook and everything around us are telling us how to look better, how to be slimmer, how to have more energy, how to be perfect, how to have perfect children, and how to have a perfect home. So there's a lot of pressure. I wonder if that's why we're stressed. So who feels like this? Yeah. Unfortunately, there's quite a few heads nodding. This is what's happening. We are burning out, and it's happening faster and faster. Or we're feeling like this. And this lady over here, she really frightens me, that feeling of I'm so overwhelmed by all of this. If I could just disappear completely, that would just make it so much easier. I always do this. Right. So this is where we're getting to. There's the burnt out, exhausted, I can't do it. And then there's the angry, the road rage. We've all seen it. We've all felt like doing it. Or the I wish the ground would just bury me right now. And we've got some new labels these days. Have you noticed we have new labels? We've got nervous breakdown lady. We've got I am done. We've got burnt out. Burnout's a really big one. Sick and tired of being sick and tired lady or man. We've got chronic fatigue. This is a big deal, and I see a lot of this in clinic. And we've got a lot of anxiety. Where are our labels like chilled out, relaxed, happy, You know, where are these labels? We need to find some of those labels. There's a new term that people are very proud of. I've got rushing woman syndrome. Look at me. I rush around and I look after my family, and that's why I'm burnt out. And I'm so proud of that. I don't want that. I want to unplug from rushing woman syndrome. I want to be relaxed woman syndrome. I want to get home and be able to digest my dinner and have a conversation with my children, who are very big children. You know, have a good relationship. Let's unplug from all this expectation and all this negativity. This is what I see. This is usually why people come and see someone like a naturopath, because they are burnt out and they have adrenal fatigue or burnout. They're the same thing, if you wonder what those two things are. And they'll sit in front of me and I'll say, how do you deal with stress? What's your relationship with stress? And they'll go, oh, you know, I'm fine with stress. I'm not stressed. So I'll ask them a few questions. And I want you to just think about yourself right now. And I'll say, okay, how do you sleep at night? Oh, not very good. So, falling asleep? No, I can't really fall asleep. My mind's too busy. Oh, okay. And when do you next wake up? Oh, about 4 hours after I fall asleep. Oh, okay. And then 4 hours after that? Yes. Do you have heart palpitations? Oh, yes. Do you ever feel kind of like an extra pulse just above your tummy? Do you feel that? Oh, yes, I do. Do you feel like your jaw is tight? Sometimes I do. And do you often find your shoulders are up around your ears? Oh, well, sometimes. Yes, I do. Yes, I feel like that. Those are all signs that you are adrenal right now, because you're in that protective mode. Everything is swept up. Everything is protecting you. And that's not really a normal way to live your life. I'm going to show you a quick little video that we put together that explains what that feels like.
The fight or flight response is our body's primitive automatic response that prepares the body to fight or flee from perceived attack, threat, or harm to survival. Symptoms include rapid heart rate and breathing, dilated pupils, pale or flushed skin, and sometimes a feeling of anxiety. This response gets your body ready for action and helps you to perform under pressure, which is great if there is a tiger chasing you or if you need to react quickly to danger, but not if the pressure is ongoing and coming from day-to-day stresses such as traffic, workload, difficult relationships, injury, or even poor diet. To stay healthy, our body needs to toggle between fight or flight and rest and digest. When the body is surging with adrenaline, blood flows from the essential organs, such as the gut, to the arms and legs in order for us to react. This is okay for short bursts, but if we stay in this adrenal state for prolonged periods of time, we may start to notice changes in our digestion, sleep, and ability to cope with even normal stresses. If this sounds like you, we can help. You can email us, visit our website, or give us a call to find out more. My Remedy. It's your remedy.
So just for now, I'm just going to just get you to have a wee look. I know it's quite small writing, but there are some really common signs of stress, and there are some important signs of depression. And I think it's really important to know the difference, and I'm more than happy to make this list available to all of you. But the signs of stress, as I was saying before, are trouble sleeping, that feeling of being overwhelmed, problems with your memory, just can't find things, concentrating, changes in eating habits. And it's really interesting that that's the time when you're stressed that you really should eat the best, as you were saying, to look after your gut, to look after your brain, also just to get some good energy. But when you're adrenal and you're worked up, it's like trying to eat a burger while you run. You simply can't digest it. So we start to eat what I call fast foods. So really fast, you know, it's a rice crackers or it's some, you know, a burger. It's something that we can eat quickly and keep going. And this just makes our problem worse because we actually start to undo the health of our gut as well. And as Simrat was saying before, our gut is represented in our brain health. So looking after our food's important. We start to feel nervous or anxious or a little bit on edge, sometimes angry or easily frustrated. And I'll put my hand up and say that's the way I react to stress when I'm negative with it. We can feel burned out from studying, schoolwork, or even working, and feeling that we can't overcome the difficulties in our life and just have trouble functioning. Depression is a lot deeper, it's a lot darker, and so we need to be watching for ourselves, but also our friends and our family. We need to be on the lookout for this, because these are the people that we can help, and that's our biggest community service we can do, is to look at our friends and our neighbours and see how we can help. So if we see people withdrawing, people who are sad and feeling hopeless, lack of energy, so really low energy, just actually can't get up in the morning, trouble making decisions, big decisions, like what am I going to do about my life, right down to the small decisions of can I even decide what to wear and can I get out the door. So these are right across the board. Restless, agitated and irritable, eating more, so sometimes we're turning to food, or eating less and turning away from food. There's different sleep patterns, concentration and memory is affected. There's always the guilt and the feeling bad about yourself. That's why people go away. And one of the worst things you can do when you're depressed is be on your own. It's one of the worst things you can do. There may be anger and rage and feeling that you can't overcome the difficulty in your life, or the worst thoughts of suicide. And sadly, that's when we mainly hear about people who are depressed, is when it's too late to help them. So if you or someone that you know is suffering from any of those thoughts, please ask for help and please talk to people, because it's amazing when you do talk to someone and they go, I've been there, just how much better about yourself you feel. And we can help. All of us in this room can help. We can help just by being there for each other. As a naturopath, the way I help is to actually assess if this is stress, anxiety or depression. If it is depression, I'll be looking to recommend somebody to the correct people. So the mental health services are an absolute godsend and they're a lifeline. But there's also stuff we need to look at underneath. So we may be sending you to a counsellor, getting some hypnotherapy. It may be that you need some herbs. Just some simple things like getting you out walking. Maybe you need to also look at the causes, the stresses that have led you there. So if it's family, we might need to look at maybe a familyectomy and just having a wee break from the family for a while you just recover your wits and live your own life. If it's your work, you need to assess, can I stay there? And if I am going to stay there, what am I going to do about it? If it's your study, maybe you need to look at what your study habits are. When I was doing nutrition, I stayed up to 1 o'clock eating Coke and chips to get me through the night. It wasn't a good idea. I felt like I was in a coma the next day. So we need to look at our behaviours as well. There's always something that can be done to help. So this is a great little letter. Dear stress, let's break up. But how do we do that? How on earth do we do that? So, friendectomies, workectomy, phonectomy. You could get rid of your phone. Have a plan. What is causing the stress? Write it down. Have a think about it. Where are my stresses? Which are the ones I like? Which are the ones that I don't like? Which are the ones I can do something about? Which are the ones I might have to accept? Take a break from your stress. I loved your breathing exercise. It's something I need to learn to do myself. Breathe and notice the room and notice your body and notice the good things about your life. That's fantastic. Take care of your body. Good food, hydration, great for the brain. The brain needs a lot of water every day. Have some fun. Laughing is fantastic. If you're ever in a bad mood, go and watch something like, Hangover 2 or something like that, and you'll feel so much better at the end of it because you just can't help but laugh and cry just a little bit. Get some support. Like, we've all got friends, and if we haven't got friends, this is a fantastic community place. There are places like this that bring groups of people together. Gyms, can be fun. There's yoga groups, there's walking groups, there's just walking down the beach and saying hello to other people. So find your community. If you can't do it yourself, you might need some help. So you may need to see a therapist, a counsellor, a naturopath, a psychiatrist if things are really rough, but go out and get some help, get a plan. In clinic, we use things such as B vitamins, and you can get those from the health food store. B vitamins are the first thing that the body uses in a time of stress. So if you're having a really rough week and you've got a really nice B complex, it's going to help your body draw on that, give it some energy. It helps with cognitive function as well. And when we go low in our B vitamins, our body goes, sweet, I've got adrenaline. And so we'll get that nasty, sharp energy. So much better to have some B vitamins in the cupboard in the morning. Bark flowers are lovely. If anyone's ever used Rescue Remedy, that's an example of a bark flower. And it's just using the energy or the essence of a flower to bring calm and peace and help you to cope a little bit. So they're really lovely to have in your pocket. And some of the other things we obviously use in clinic would be getting your gut healthy so that we've got good chemicals and serotonin production, which happens in the gut. We'd be looking at things maybe like bark flowers. We'd be looking at St. John's wort. We'd be looking at adaptogenic herbs, which help you cope with life better. So there's a lot of stuff we can do if you can't do it yourself. This is what we're really talking about when it comes to stress, is self-care. Because if we don't take care of ourselves, how on earth have we got anything else to give to anyone else, to our family and our friends and ourselves? Thank you for listening to me today. I'd love to answer any questions. I'd love to be of support to anybody who needs me. And thanks for giving up your Sunday afternoon.